8th of November, 2023, YouTuber 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 uploaded a video documenting his exploration of an abandoned building, intending to film himself tagging graffiti throughout the location. At the start, everything seems fairly straightforward. The camera follows him as he searches for empty walls to spray, and he manages to leave his mark in several spots without any issues. The eerie silence of the crumbling structure only adds to the unsettling backdrop. But up until this point, nothing feels particularly out of the ordinary. However, things take an unexpected and frightening turn around the 3-minute mark. That changes the tone of the video entirely. Out of nowhere, a figure suddenly darts across the rooftop of the building before sprinting straight toward the cameraman. The moment shifts instantly from a casual graffiti session into a panic chase, with 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 desperately running for safety while still holding the camera. The rest of the video is chaotic, filled with shaky footage and heavy breathing as he scrambles to escape whoever is pursuing him. Fortunately, the clip ends with him making it out unharmed, but the encounter raises deeply unsettling questions. Who was this person? And why were they hiding on the roof? Were they simply trying to frighten him off for trespassing? Or did they have far more sinister intentions in mind? The fact that the pursuer appeared so suddenly suggests they may have been watching him for some time before making their move. Chris, the creator behind the YouTube channel 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐞, returned once again for another urban exploration, this time choosing the infamous Rockefeller Hotel in Cleveland, Ohio. Constructed in 1905, the hotel was once celebrated as a historic landmark, but now it stands as a decayed, hollow shell of its former glory. The building's crumbling walls and eerie emptiness have made it a hotspot for urban explorers, and Chris wanted to document its chilling atmosphere firsthand. At first, his visit unfolds, like many of his others. For roughly the first half hour, everything feels routine. Chris carefully navigates through peeling corridors, showcases abandoned rooms, and highlights the unsettling silence that seems to swallow every step he takes. But soon, that quiet is broken by something unexpected. As Chris approaches a door labeled William H. Smith & Associates, he hears a strange sound reverberating down the hall.
William H. Smith and Associates. Oh shit.
Initially, he brushes it off as nothing more than a shuffle or creak, common in old buildings. Yet only moments later, the situation grows more disturbing. Through his camera lens, Chris captures what looks like the figure of a woman inside the building. A startling discovery, given that the hotel is supposed to be completely abandoned. Instead of retreating, he pushes on, but the atmosphere becomes increasingly oppressive.
I wish I could see.
The noises intensify, and muffled voices can be heard, sounding like an argument happening somewhere above him. Then comes the breaking point. A series of gunshots, not just one, but several, ring out in the distance, layered with the continuing shouts and voices. Chris's breathing becomes heavier as fear sets in, and the reality of the situation shifts. This is no longer a paranormal curiosity, but something far more dangerous. The video concludes with Chris narrowly escaping the building, too shaken to stick around and uncover who or what was responsible for the gunfire. Unlike his usual explorations, this felt less like chasing ghosts and more like stumbling into real-world danger. Was Chris simply at the wrong place at the wrong time, intruding on illicit activity? Or did he uncover yet another dark layer of the Rockefeller Hotel's already ominous reputation? Whatever the case, it stands as one of his most terrifying explorations to date. On TikTok, a woman named Ashley Lynn shared a video explaining why she's starting to think her bedroom could be haunted. She mentioned having a security camera set up in the room and said that while she was filming a TikTok downstairs one day, she suddenly heard an odd noise. At first, she brushed it off as her pet 𝐾𝐿, but when the sound came again, her concern grew. The camera footage reveals the bedroom closet door shutting on its own, startling 𝐾𝐿. Just moments later, it swings open and closes by itself once more. Ashley admits she has no explanation for what happened, and even says the incident left her so rattled she immediately thought about moving. The video, originally posted in April, still raises questions. If it was only a draft, you'd expect the door to move once, not repeatedly. Skeptics suggest a faulty latch, or even trickery, but 𝐾𝐿's genuine reaction makes the moment all the more chilling. For this next entry, we'll be diving into a compilation of unsettling clips, each one stranger than the last. The first recording was captured by a home security camera in the middle of the night, and at first glance, it looks fairly ordinary. But when a cat casually walks into frame, something disturbing becomes apparent. Just behind the animal, a dark, shadowy figure seems to appear, moving in a way that almost suggests it's following the cat. The shape lingers only briefly, but the resemblance to a human presence is enough to raise chills. The second video, shared on TikTok by a woman named Tammy G, offers a similarly eerie moment. At the very beginning of her footage, If you focus on the corner of the screen, you can spot what looks like a faint, ghost-like figure moving inside her home. The figure is hazy, almost transparent, yet its form is distinct enough to make viewers wonder if Tammy isn't entirely alone. The third clip is perhaps the most unnerving of them all. Tammy had grown concerned about the strange occurrences in her home.
What's that? What's that? What's that?
And decided to set up a camera in her bedroom as she slept. What the camera captured was deeply unsettling. Not only did shadows and noises return, but objects in her home also began to move on their own. Altogether, Tammy uploaded several videos documenting these bizarre experiences. While skeptics argue about reflections, drafts, or video editing, the repeated activity, especially the cat's reaction, makes these events harder to dismiss completely. YouTube creator 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 shared a chilling account of what happened while working late at his studio. He explains that it was around 2 a.m. and he was finally preparing to go home after a long night. For several days leading up to this moment, however, he claims he had been hearing disturbing noises inside the studio, most notably loud, deliberate footsteps echoing through the space. On top of that, he occasionally caught fleeting movements out of the corner of his eye, giving him the uneasy sense that he wasn't alone. Just minutes before filming the video, he says he went to the bathroom and felt something, or someone, grab his shoulder. Startled but determined to uncover the truth, 𝐟𝐵𝐿 pulled out his phone and began recording, hoping to capture evidence of whoever or whatever was responsible.
Hello? Alright, I think I'm done. I think I've had about enough for today.
But as he walks into the corridor, the camera records something he seemingly doesn't notice in the moment. If you pause the footage at just the right second, you can clearly make out a figure quickly peeking around the corner before ducking back out of sight. The glimpse is brief, but unsettling enough to suggest that someone or something was lurking in the studio with him that night. Not long after this, the recording ends, and with no updates from 𝐟𝐿𝐵𝐿 since, the mystery remains unsolved. Naturally, skeptics have weighed in with their own theories. Some argue it could have been nothing more than a shadow, a trick of lighting, or even intentional video editing. Others speculate that a person could have been hiding, possibly standing on something to appear unusually tall, which might explain why the figure looks abnormally high in the stairwell. Regardless of whether it was a hoax or a genuine encounter, the clip continues to unsettle viewers and stands as one of the eeriest studio recordings to surface online. This clip comes from TikTok creator Hunter Mathisi, aka Duke of Alabama, who says he lives in a 160-year-old house directly opposite a forensic center where autopsies are carried out. One night, after tidying the kitchen, Hunter walked upstairs and took a shortcut into the hallway. At the corner, he froze. Something there stopped him cold.
What in the actual hell? There's literally...
A dark, human-shaped shadow wearing what looked like a hat appeared behind his front door, but when he flung the door open, there was no one. Hunter insists there was nobody across the street or anywhere near the house to cast that silhouette. He points out the recessed doorway makes that kind of angled shadow almost impossible. The outline was so crisp it read like a person, yet it didn't act like one. A fluke of light or something else entirely? We might never know.